Hello, and welcome back to my math YouTube series. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Andrew, a local Bay Area tutor. I offer in-person and virtual tutoring, and I'm the one behind these helpful videos. Be sure to check out my website via the link in the video description below. And please give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. Now, on to today's subject, angle relationships. In this video, I'm going to explain 5 different angle relationships to you. So again, there are 5 main types of fundamental angle relationships to know. The first one is complementary angles. This is where we have 2 angles that add to 90 degrees, otherwise known as a right angle. So here's an example of complementary angles. For example, if you had 40 degrees and 50 degrees, because 40 plus 50 would be 90 degrees. The second example to know is called supplementary angles. This is where you have 2 angles that add to 180 degrees, otherwise known as a straight line. Here's an example of supplementary angles. If we had 120 degrees and 60 degrees, they both add to 180 degrees. Another type of angle relationship to know is adjacent angles. These are 2 angles that share a side. So here's an example of adjacent angles where that common side is what I drew in red. Angle A and angle B, regardless of their measure, would be adjacent angles since they share a side. Another example is called a linear pair. This is very similar to supplementary angles. It's 2 angles on a line. Oftentimes, supplementary angles can be referred to as a linear pair. And finally, our 5th relationship, we have vertical angles. And these are 2 equal angles that are basically non-adjacent to one another. They're formed by 2 lines intersecting. I'll draw an example. It'll make more sense. So here's 2 lines. They cross each other. Those opposite angles on each side are going to be vertical angles, and they'll be equal to one another. So here are all 5 angle relationships to know. Let's do a little bit of practice. I'll write some practice problems here. See if you can solve them. So what type of angle relationship is angle A and B for problem number 1? Same thing with angle C and D. What types of angles are those? And what about E and F? I'll give you a couple seconds to think about these and try and solve them. So the first ones are complementary angles because we've got that little square in the bottom which indicates that whole angle's 90 degrees. Then for C and D, we've got adjacent angles because they share a side. And E and F are vertical angles because they're opposite and those lines intersect. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.